Okay, good morning everyone. First of all, thank you for coming, and I hope this session will be very beneficial for you. And most of you have known each other. I think only Miss Teacher Juliana. Maybe Teacher Juliana, just introduce yourself, and also they will introduce themselves to just later on for the activity.
Hi everyone, I'm Juliana Philip and I'm a HR trainer. I train on HR related topics. And what else do I share?
Church. Church. Ministry.
Okay, so I'm
She has
also
forgotten.
part of the Catechetical Ministry in St. Joseph's Church.
Shall we work together? Okay, wait, just brief one. Okay.
Music.
Okay.
Myself is Kavita. I'm teaching Sri Vestari now for 4 years mostly science and management subjects.
I'm Michelle. I'm also from Sri Vestari International School. I also teach science.
I see.
I'm Alicia, also from Sri Vestari School. I teach early years.
Early years. She's the most patient teacher in this room. Okay, so I need you to scan the QR code for the attendance. The attendance also includes a consent, so you need to give me your permission to record this session because that's part of our requirements for this. Yes, so for data privacy. Deactivated? Okay, never mind. Later on, I will just share with you. Then you can fill up the form. Okay. So shall we start? Are you all ready? Okay. So let's start. How many of you ask questions every day? Raise up your hand. Hey. Okay. Hands down. Anyone who has not asked any question in a day, I think at any point in time of your life, can you recall any day in your life that you did not ask question at all? But you still ask yourself, right? Okay, I think from the time that we wake up in the morning until we close our eyes also in the evening, our daily activities or life are full of questions, right? Okay, like I said, morning when you get up, and then also before you go to work, when you prepare your breakfast. Also at work, you have a lot of questions to ask, and even when you travel, okay, you ask so many questions, different types of questions, okay? So now I am going to give you 3 minutes for this activity. This group, you look at image 1 and 2, this group image 3 and 4. So what I need you to do is to brainstorm. What are the possible questions that you ask in those scenarios? Okay? So each group, you should have 3 to 5 questions for each scenario. Okay? I'll give you 3 minutes for this. Yours is 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4. Okay. I think all of these are your personal experiences, right? When you get up, prepare to work, and then breakfast, you prepare breakfast. Or you don't take breakfast in the morning also. Okay. You're thinking about what to prepare for dinner. Okay. Are you running out of questions to ask, or you have a lot of questions? I think you asked more than 5 questions for that particular scenario. Hey, connect to your personal experience, not necessarily from the image, okay? So the image is just to help you, okay? To give you the context of the questions. All right? Everybody ready? Yeah. All right, so I stop the timer. All right, who would like to share first? Image 1 and 2. Who's it? Okay.
Image
Image 1.
Image one is, why is he sitting and playing phone?
Okay.
Why is she taking so long?
Okay.
Is she ready yet?
Okay.
Did you had enough sleep?
So if I put myself in
Okay.
enough sleep, what's the plan tonight?
Mm. Okay. Then how about image number 2? What to cook for dinner? What else?
Why are the children eating 2 separate meals?
Okay, then?
Why so troublesome?
Okay, and then? Okay, if you relate it to your personal experience, not necessarily in the image, what are the normal questions that you ask?
Probably what are you excited about today in the case?
Okay, come again, sorry.
What are you excited about today?
What?
Are you will be excited about today?
Okay, so what else? Breakfast. Your personal experience.
Am I hitting my target?
Okay, what else? Diet, right? Okay, what else?
Am I having enough to eat for breakfast?
So it's about enough for breakfast. Why? You don't have enough food for breakfast. Okay, or you are a big eater. Okay, what about this group for image 3 and 4? It can be based on the photo, it can be your personal experience also.
Why am I here? Like, why am I here?
Is that a personal question, or it's based on the photo?
You ask about like,
Okay.
what am I doing here?
Okay, next.
And what I'm expected to do
Mm-hmm.
today, to do this. Okay, and then the task to accomplish today.
All right. You only have 3?
Yeah.
Okay, what about the 4th image?
On the road, why is the traffic so bad? Will I be late? Why are the drivers so slow? Careless, etc. What am I going to have for lunch? What am I to do today?
You have just finished breakfast and then you're thinking about lunch.
It's Malaysian thing.
Okay, so I think you will agree with me if I tell that every time you have more than 1 or 2 questions, in your life whenever you are in one circumstance or scenario, okay? So it's about asking questions. At different point in our lives, of course, we ask different questions and different levels of questionings as well. All right, so now our session objectives are outlined into 3, okay? So it's all about understanding, the effective questioning for teaching and learning, and at the same time, what are the questioning techniques that we can use to support deeper learning, and at the same time, application, okay, of questioning strategies. Now, you have sticky notes on your table. Okay, since my session is all about asking questions, I would like you to write wondering questions. Looking at the objectives, what do you think are the questions, burning questions in your mind that you're going to learn today? Okay, that you want to learn today, all right? So I'll give you 2 minutes for that. Write all your wondering questions regarding the sessions that we have today. So there are a lot of key ideas and points that can help you to frame your question. It can be about effective questioning, it can be about teaching and learning, it can be about thinking tools, it can also be about strategies, it can be about application, all right? And higher order thinking skills. So, what do you think? Okay. Are the burning questions that you have that we will be able to explore later on? Okay, when you're ready, you can share. Yes, Teacher Juliana, would you like to share your question?
Yeah, I guess one is how can I apply what I'm going to learn today?
Okay. Okay, good. Then, anything else? One more? Huh.
Actually, I'm not sure the activities that we're going to do today, the outcome.
What will be the outcome of the session today? Yes.
Then what are some new skills or techniques I can learn in forming questions?
Okay, so what are the techniques or tools or strategies that you can learn? Yes, Miss Alicia?
Using the high order thinking skills to ask questions.
Okay. Miss Kavita?
My question is totally different.
It's fine.
Like how to avoid answering questions when you are not prepared.
Good point. Okay, actually it's part of our session. All right. So let's continue. So in this session, of course, what are we hoping to achieve? We hope to, for everyone to understand, okay, the importance of effective questioning in teaching and learning, and at the same time, of course, exploring a variety of questioning techniques. Okay. Not only questioning techniques, but also thinking tools to develop deeper learning, and at the same time to apply questions, okay? Thinking tools and the art of questioning to enhance student engagement, and at the same time to develop higher order thinking skills. So in the classroom, these are the two things that we always want to achieve, right? Student engagement and also higher order thinking skills. Okay, so you have this clock partner template. You are familiar with it, right? So you need to assign one person at each time, 3, 6, 9, and 12 o'clock. So you should have a partner at 3 o'clock, you should have a partner for 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Because later on we will use this, what do you call it, this time, okay, your clock partner for sharing session and brainstorming. So you may assign people from the other table as well. Okay. Yeah, you have to book yourself out together. You have to book. You have to book.
Maybe my 12.
If not enough people, maybe 3 people can also meet at one time.
Can I set you at 6 o'clock?
So I'll take Alicia to 6 o'clock. I mean, Rachel to 6. I booked Rachel 6.
Okay, so are we ready? Did you manage to get a partner for each time? No, not yet. Okay, never mind. If not possible, actually, 3 people can meet at one time. Okay? So later, if you don't have a partner, then you just find someone and then join them. All right? So, thoughts to ponder. The first question is, you go and meet your 3 o'clock partner and discuss about why do kids ask a lot of questions. Kids, when we say kids, these are the children maybe age 3 to 7 years old. Okay? 3 to 7, okay? So meet your 3 o'clock partner. I'll give you 2 minutes, discuss why do kids ask a lot of questions.
About 1 year.
How many?
200 over questions.
A day, right?
A day.
Yes.
They can ask about thinking. They can ask 200 questions.
And sometimes really annoying, right? Because one after the other, one after the other. Why? And non-stop why. Okay, done? All right, so anyone who wants to share? Miss Alicia, I heard you sharing something very interesting. Maybe you can share to everyone.
Basically, I read somewhere the research says that a kid will ask 200 over questions a day.
That's a lot, right?
That's a lot of questions. And I myself working with kids, I do agree with that. They have been asking a lot of questions like why do we need to learn this? When is lunchtime? When is snack time? When can we play? Why can't we play now? Why do we need to do this? Why do we need to do that?
So why do you think they are asking a lot of questions? Thank you for sharing. They are curious. What else?
Probably they're looking for attention too.
Looking for attention. What else?
And maybe they want to buy more time to not to complete their task.
What else? Okay, so let's watch a video. Okay, this video will tell you why students actually ask a lot of questions.
The sky is blue, or why dogs fly, or why ice cream melts. Questions, questions, questions. They seem never ending when you're at tiny tot of the big world to explore. Welcome to this delightful journey into the world of curious minds. Today, we're diving into the reason why children just like you ask so many questions. You know, questioning is not just about being nosy or trying to ignore your older sibling. It's one of the most fantastic ways to learn about the world around us. Ever noticed how a kitty cat will curiously poke her nose into a box or a bag? That's because she's curious. She wants to know what's inside. Just like her when you ask, why do we need to brush our teeth? Or why do we need to sleep? It's because you're curious. You're poking your nose into the big, exciting world around you. Questioning is like opening a door to a new world. Every why, how, what, and when leads to a new discovery. When you ask, why does the moon change shape? You're opening the door to the world of astronomy. When you ask, how do birds fly? You're stepping into the world of biology. And guess what? This habit of asking questions is actually a superpower. Yes, you heard it right. It's a superpower that helps you grow smarter every day. Because when you ask questions, you're not just collecting answers. You're thinking, you're understanding. And most importantly, you're learning. So, what have we discovered today? We've learned that asking questions is all about being curious, just like a kitty cat. It's about opening doors to new worlds and growing smarter every day. And remember, no question is ever too silly or too small. Every question is a step towards learning something new. So keep asking, keep exploring, and keep learning. Because every question you ask is a journey into the amazing world around you. And next time someone asks you why you ask so many questions, you can tell them, I'm just using my superpower. Remember, the world is full of answers waiting to be discovered. So are you ready to discover them?
Okay, so you heard it right. Students or kids ask a lot of questions because of curiosity. Okay, and when they ask questions, it opens a new world for them. So they learn a lot. Okay, and at the same time, scientifically speaking, at that stage or point in time, the kids actually, all of us have neurons in our brains. Okay, but at a very young age, these neurons actually are fragmented. So when they ask a lot of questions, that is the time that they are actually making connection to all these neurons. That is why it develops their understanding, they develop their thinking process. Okay? So, questioning develops thinking. Agree or not? Yes, as I mentioned, scientifically speaking and theoretically speaking, the students ask or learners ask questions because they want to develop their thinking process. Okay, it is the same research which is actually proven by John Dewey and also Jean Piaget and Vygotsky. Are you familiar with Vygotsky and then Piaget? These are both people who developed the theory of cognitive development. You know, how actually how the students or kids develop or how people develop their thinking process or mental process. Okay, now I want you to meet your 6 o'clock partner. This time, your question is, why do some children struggle to ask the right questions? Have you noticed when the students are in the early years, right? They ask a lot of questions, but simple questions. When they move to the upper level, let's say year 1, year 2, year 3, they still ask questions, but then they struggle to ask the right questions. Do you agree with me or not? Isn't it? Even if you want or you help your students, give them some prompting, sometimes it's very difficult for them to really ask questions, the right question. Now, I want you to meet your 6 o'clock partner, share your experience about it, and maybe your insight or opinion why. Okay, 2 minutes.
So maybe later, since we can do this now, when she calls out another one, then you can go find someone else. Okay. So let's discuss. What is some students struggle to ask the right questions? You have thoughts? What do you teach, Mike?
Okay, done? All right, okay, any sharing? Anyone who wants to share? Opinion, your perspective, POV. Point of view. Why do you think students struggle to ask the right questions? They are not familiar with the content. What else?
What I feel is as they move on from earliest to year 1 to year 2, then lessons are more structured. So
Okay.
they have to listen all the time, and they are not able to ask questions.
So material, right? Material that they learn. Okay, what else?
Probably lack of understanding or analyzing
They don't have the capability to understand first. What else? Any more? They don't know what they don't know. Okay. They cannot also. They don't know what they ask also. All right. So let's watch another video. This time you're going to watch the video of Vygotsky's theory. Okay? About cognitive development.
Sociocultural theory of cognitive development emphasizes the fundamental role of social
Okay, what have you drawn from the video? Zone of proximal development. What does it say about the student's ability to ask questions? Okay, very good. Okay, there is what we call, in a cognitive development theory, there is what we call the zone of proximal development. Okay, this happens at every stage in our life. Okay, which means that within this circle, there are certain things that we can ask. You know, we can ask the questions within our zone of proximal development. But that one we can do independently. Okay. But there are certain things which is outside our zone of proximal development that we cannot ask questions anymore because we have no knowledge about it yet. Okay? And that is when the teachers or adult or the, what do you call it? They call it MKO or knowledgeable others. Okay? The knowledgeable others can actually help these people to develop their questioning skills. All right? So, when the child, you agree with me when we say that the child can ask questions. But sometimes, there are certain information that they cannot process, they cannot understand. That is outside their proximity. So, what happens is, within the zone of proximity, the child can ask questions. But if the information is not relevant to them, what happens is they actually experience cognitive overload. Okay, so now what is our role as a teacher? Okay, to develop or to help them to overcome their struggle of questionings. Our role is actually to scaffold. Okay, scaffold it because they cannot understand. There are questions they cannot ask. Do you notice that when the level of understanding, right? They can only ask questions within lower order thinking skills, but they cannot go higher anymore. Why? Because it is not within their zone. They don't know yet. So our role is to scaffold it to them so that they can actually develop their thinking process. Okay? And you know what's the best part? At every zone, whether you are a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old child, or you are an adult, okay? The questioning skill actually is already within your zone of proximal development. It is just the level of questioning that you need to develop. That is why, if you notice, a 3-year-old child can ask 200 questions. But those questions are only seeking for knowledge and simple understanding. They are very explorative. It's not about critical thinking yet. It's not about cognitive thinking or divergent thinking or convergent thinking. They cannot reach that point yet. So that is why the teachers are actually very important, so that you can assist your kids to increase the level of their questioning by scaffolding. Does it make sense? Okay. And apart from that, another reason why the students struggle also is because of language barrier. That's part 2, remember, from Vygotsky. He said that, you know, communication, like in our school, we have students coming from different background, Japanese, Korean, okay, and then Chinese. They are coming to school, they know how to express it in their own language, but when you ask them to express it in English, they are not able to ask the questions because they don't know the language itself. All right? So that's another factor. Okay, so just to outline, okay, first, like what teacher Juliana said, they have limited background. That's why they struggle. Okay, the second one is they haven't developed metacognition. So what is metacognition? Metacognition is helping the students to think about their thinking process. They don't know how their brain thinks. So that's why they cannot actually process information and structure it. And this is what Ms. Kavita told earlier. Okay? They have been trained to look for answers, not questions. Think about your daily teaching and learning, okay, in school. You ask so many questions. What is your intention of asking question? To find for the answer or to help them frame the right questions? That is why I always advocate the inquiry-based learning, because inquiry-based learning actually focuses on the students' development of their questioning skill, because the moment the child develops questioning skill, then they can go beyond their zone of proximal development. They can go higher in the level of their thinking. Okay? Again, do we ask questions to get the answer or to get them to think? You are teaching. To think or to get the answer? Or both? Both, right? Of course, you want them also to elicit the correct answers, but at the same time, you need to help them to process their thinking, isn't it? You just don't simply stop when you get the answer from them, but sometimes you challenge them with more questions for you to assess whether their thinking process or they are actually developing their deeper thinking. Okay? All right. So, if I ask you, how can you describe effective questions? What are effective questions then? I've been telling about, okay, when the students struggle because of these ideas and these ideas. So, when as a teacher, your role is to scaffold so that students can develop the questioning skills. So, what is an effective question then? Open-ended question. What else? No right and wrong answer. Okay, what else? How can you describe effective question?
Usually I follow the Bloom's taxonomy.
Okay, use Bloom's taxonomy. What else? Earlier I was asking, right? You ask question what? To elicit answer or to get them to think. So effective questions are what? Yes, very good. Okay, anything else? All right, so effective questions are questions actually that get the students to think deeper. All right? Okay, remember, Vygotsky emphasized that effective questions act as linguistic scaffolds. So, scaffolding is very important. Okay, we don't give the answer, but we help the students to restructure the thinking process. So, we ask questions, okay, to restructure the thinking process of students or learners. Okay? Okay, that's the end of first session. Let's get 3-minute break first. All right, let's continue to the next module. Okay, this is about the tool for powerful questioning. Okay, so earlier we learned that the students struggle question because they don't have knowledge. The second one is metacognition is very important. And the third one is our intention for questioning. Is it to get an answer or to get them to think? Okay, so the second part actually is talking about thinking tools, okay, as an anchor or as a tool for the questioning techniques. All right, so let me just start. Okay, first, look at the image. This time, what I want you to do is ask why questions. Why the car is red? Okay, what else? Okay. What else? All right, what else? Why do they need to cut the trees? That's a good question also. Yes? Yes, why are there arrows pointing to different objects and why are they in red? Okay, what else? Why are you posting these photos of so many photos, right? What else? Anything else? But interesting, right? Why they put those tin cans, okay, in the car? Why? I know that this one we do in the Philippines, you know, during New Year's time, you know, to create noise. But this one, what? To draw attention, is it? To tell that, oh, we just got married. Oh, is it? Oh, so maybe this one has Chinese background. That's why they put the tin cans. All right. So I want you to see your 9 o'clock partner this time. And you need to discuss about what are the activities in the classroom, okay, that require asking questions. What are the activities that you conducted in your classroom? It could be a student-led activity. It can also be teacher-led activity. If not within the classroom, it can be also about the training session that you have done. Yes. Okay, done. All right. Thank you so much. You can go back to your seats and let's have a general discussion. Okay. Very quickly, you just tell me what were the activities that you have done in your classroom. Yes.
For my classroom is I will do the think and share.
Think, pair, share.
So basically is I will show them the image. So the image is from Hubble. So every day they will give me different images. And all. So they will have to ask questions.
Based on the image. All right, good. Okay, Miss Kavita.
KWL chart,
Okay.
and then 6 thinking hats,
All right.
and then one more just like showing pictures and asking what's happening in the teacher for these students.
Okay, great. From your sharing, I could actually understand that you already have a background of thinking tools, because what you are using in the classroom are all thinking tools. You know, the think, pair, share, and then yours is the KWL chart and also the 6 thinking hats. Anyone else who would like to add on? See, think, wonder, what else? But more general. But then, of course, the how you scaffold it from lower thinking to higher ordering, maybe perhaps you are not aware. Implicitly, you are using Bloom's taxonomy. Bloom's taxonomy, the level of lower order and higher order thinking skills. Okay, so whatever thinking tools or whatever activities that you conducted or you are planning to conduct into your class, right? They always involve questioning. Do you notice that? But maybe you are still thinking, I ask a lot of questions also, but at the end of the day, my students cannot understand me or they don't actually scores in their assessment. Okay? So what are the objectives for this session? The first one, of course, now is about introducing some thinking tools, okay, as a tool for effective questioning, okay. I'm going to introduce two. The first one is the 5 whys method. The second one, 5 whys method using the logic tree. The second one is 6 thinking hats and also application of that. I believe that most of you are familiar with 6 thinking hats. But the way you use it in the classroom actually is just a simple call and response, not for independent activity. Have you tried using 6 thinking hats for the group activity? You've done, right? You've done. But then this one is a more structured one where the students can independently ask questions, meaning to say they will be the one asking questions. Not that you provide the question and then they actually discuss the answers. No. So this one is to structure their thinking process by using the 6 thinking hats. Of course, at the end of this session, what we are trying to achieve is for you to also effectively use 5 whys in the classroom and also 6 thinking hat for group activities and also develop students' higher order thinking skills. Okay, that is our ultimate goal. Okay, remember earlier I asked you, why do we ask questions to students? It's not only to get the answers but also to develop their thinking process. Okay, remember, a good question gets an answer, but an effective question gets people thinking. Which is more important? To get the answer, to get them to think? Thinking, because when you get an answer, it's very limited. The knowledge is very limited. But when you teach them to think, it's like you are teaching them how to fish, right? It's not only catching the fish, but also teaching them how to fish. Because later on in their life, without you, they should be independently asking questions in order to develop their deeper thinking. That is actually a process of developing their metacognition as well. You can only develop metacognition if you have some thinking tools. Okay? And the students should understand these thinking tools explicitly. This one I always ask you, can you see how the brain works? Can you see how the student think? No, right? It's very difficult. You don't know what's going on in their head. That is why sometimes when you assess them, you see, oh, they haven't actually reached that level of understanding because there's no proper scaffolding done. All right? Okay, another thing for a recap, remember, Vygotsky always emphasized that effective questions act as linguistic scaffolds. Okay? But of course, what if the students do not have the articulation, their communication skills are not there yet? So it's very important that you also provide them with some guidance on that. Okay? And they don't give away the answers, but we structure the thinking process. All right. Okay. You heard me saying about thinking tools. Thinking tools are used to develop the art of questioning for students, for teachers. Okay? So why I am targeting both is because you as a teacher, you need to also use effective teaching strategies. And then the students should also develop effective learning strategies. How? By using thinking tools. All right? Can you see the connection? All right. So as I mentioned today, we are going to use 5 whys method and 6 thinking hats. Anyone who has a question at the moment? No question. Okay? If at one point there are some burning questions, you just write it on a sticky note, then later on I will look into that and see whether we can brainstorm together. All right. Now, the 5 why challenge. There are 3 topics, okay, or 3 problems on screen. I want you to choose one. Okay, you have 2 groups, right? Okay, so choose one, and then what you need to do is just to ask 5 whys. I'll give you an example. Group activities ineffective. That is one topic or one issue. Group activities are ineffective. First question is 5 whys. Why are group activities ineffective? Answer me. You answer me. I need the answer so I can go through the 5 whys. Okay. Why are group activities ineffective?
They are not familiar with the members
Why are the students not familiar with the members?
because they do know them.
Why the kids don't know them? They are new to the environment. Why are they new to the environment? Okay, so they joined the school late. Why did they join the school late?
They don't like to come to school.
They don't. Okay, so that's how you use the 5 whys, all right? I think you have you done this in class? Okay, but I'll tell you what is the irony of this later on. Okay, so now you pick your topic or your problem, then you ask the 5 whys among yourselves. Okay, 3 minutes. Hey, wait. Which topic you are selecting? Oh, very appropriate for you. Yours? 1. Okay, good. So there's no duplication. Okay, so 1 and then 3. Go ahead. Okay. I know you will pick that. You have to make connection with the response. Why first, then the response, and then ask another why. Okay?
Because I think it's below my pay. My pay grade. Yes.
Friends. How many there? 4. One more. So why difference? They have different classes.
Why are they from different classes?
Okay, get 5. Done? Are you done? 5. Okay, let's wait for them. They are still writing. Did you write all your questions or no? Oh, you didn't write. Okay, we just simulate. You're going to share with us how did you go about with your 5 whys. Okay, let's start with them. Okay, ready.
So we chose this, there was a fighting incident. First question is, why are they fighting?
Okay.
So our answer was because they were not agreeing on to the rules of basketball. So second question is, why are they not agreeing to the rules? Then different experiences. So the answer will be because they have different groups of friends.
Okay.
So the fourth question will be, why do they have different groups of friends? The answer will be because they are from different class.
Okay. Then,
Why are they from different class? The fifth one was, why are they from different class?
why are they for different class? You did not answer that question. The teacher assigned them into different. All right. Okay. So did it go deeper? The questions went deeper or not? Sure. Okay. Yes. Okay. Then. Okay. This group. Okay. Okay.
First one, students are not participating in class. Okay, why?
Why are they not participating in class?
Reason? Because
They are bored. Okay. Then.
so they're not interested. Then why are they not interested in the topics or the class?
The teachers are boring.
The teacher boring. Okay, the teacher is boring. Okay. Okay, not okay. Next, why the teacher?
Why the teachers are boring?
Delivering well because they are not trained enough to deliver exciting or energetic
Okay.
sessions.
Third question, right? Okay, next.
Why are they not experienced in delivering the class?
Because they're not trained.
Okay.
Okay, why they are not trained?
Because they were not motivated. Or
They are not motivated. All right, not motivated, or maybe the school did not provide them with training. Okay. So, do you think when you use these 5 why methods in one directional or one dimensional level, will it go deeper or not?
Yes.
Sure, huh? Okay, but there are other ways to do it actually more rigorous and more deeper. Okay, it's more deeper. All right, let's see this one. So, what you have done actually is one-dimensional level, okay? But there is a multi-dimensional level to 5 whys method that you can use or apply in the classroom. This can be used from early years all the way up, okay, university level. But for early years and lower primary, you need some prompting. Remember that guidance is always needed at any stage in life. Do you agree when I say even adult, within their zone of proximal development, they still need guidance? Yes. For example, you're in school, right? You don't have that, you are placed in one role, but you are not familiar with it. So you need someone to guide you, to prompt you actually, to deliver it. Yes or no? Okay, so let's watch this video.
Then I want to show you that most people are doing wrong by using the 5 whys.
Okay, I wouldn't say, I don't agree actually to say that the one-dimensional level of questioning is wrong. It also develops the thinking process of the students. But if you use the logic tree, the 5 why method using the logic tree, it actually develops more forms of thinking, including creative thinking, divergent thinking, convergent thinking. Okay? So for early years, for kids, smaller kids, you can use the 5 whys. There's nothing wrong about it if your purpose is for the students to get to think. Okay? But if your intention is for the students to develop their divergent thinking and then convergent thinking, then you can use the logic tree using the 5 whys method. Okay? So, next, what you're going to do next. Okay. So, as I mentioned, the 5 whys help us move beyond surface level answers by repeatedly asking why, uncover the underlying cause of the problem. So, it helps you to ask, explore, dig deeper, and also understand and find the root cause. All right. So this one you've seen, right, in the video, that to create a logic tree, the first thing that you need to do, you have the problem statement, but you need to identify the components of the problem. Then only you start asking yourself why. All right. Then an example is given to you. If you notice in the video, the problem is only about being late to work. And then the components are, there are 4 components where you can explore. Okay, and then ask why until you find the root cause of the problem. All right, so now, coming back to our earlier activity, remember you chose one problem statement. You stick to the same problem statement, but this time you are going to use logic tree and see whether there's a difference of the way you think. Okay, so you have the template on your table, logic tree template. So what I need you to do is to write your problem statement. Okay, write your problem statement, yes, in the box, and then you identify the components of the problem. For example, earlier, right, you spoke about, what is yours? Incident, fighting incident. So there are so many components of problem there. What do you think are the problem components? Think about a scenario in school, sports hall. Students are playing basketball. Aside from that, any factors in the environment that actually cause that problem? A lot. You see, use your divergent thinking. Okay, there are so many components there. The kids, who else? Do you have someone supervising them? And then the place, the environment, what else?
Friends around.
Okay, so you have 4, you already have 4, but you only have 3, so you can just put 3. Okay, this one is about, what is this?
This is the one that we did.
So this one is the strategies, teaching strategies, teachers delivery. This one?
Students themselves.
Okay, the students. Okay, the learning atmosphere. Okay, this one? Environment in the classroom. Okay, there's one more. What about materials used by the teacher? This one is about teacher, right? The teacher, how she delivers the lesson. This one is about materials and tools used. So you can see there's a lot of component there, right? Or maybe also the learning environment. Is it conducive for learning? That's another factor. But you only have 3 boxes, so you can stick to 3. Okay?
Few teachers soon. Only one not enough support. Then there's the peers. Peer pressure. Not following instruction. Or people around them.
These are only first layer of whys. You can extend it to, yes, you can extend it to 3 to 5 more whys.
Restless, effortless.
What is this? Students?
Are distracted.
Students, why are they distracted?
Yeah, so chatting with friends.
Chatting with friends. Or maybe the child did not have breakfast, did not eat, right? Will it be another factor when the child is starving? Can he focus? Or maybe the child did not have enough sleep, isn't it? Or the child is disturbed with mobile devices or on
The details of those, or do we write the child is lack of focus?
Yes,
The
you-
second layer, the subsequent layer would be
why the
reasons
child is,
why.
yes.
So then lack of
So you, yes, so you have to extend it more to another whys. Why?
So this is lack.
What else? The reason why
And then below it will be
students distracted. Okay.
the next one is material.
Or maybe the noise around the place. Distraction, right? And distraction. Maybe there's a construction going on in the opposite building, or they may be some events that actually disturb the teaching and learning. Okay, what else? So many.
Materials and tools used. Not interesting. Not interesting is one.
Not interesting, or maybe it can be, is it suitable for their age? Is it aligned with the objectives of your lesson? What else? Yeah. Or the audio, if it's a video, the audio, is it clear? Or maybe if it's an image, the image is clear or not? Is it visible? Because sometimes, right, we just project our screen and then our texts are too small that the students cannot also read. So is it because of the layout of the classroom, meaning how they are seated? So where does it go actually? The seating arrangement. So seating arrangement, how they are arranged. Okay? Have you extended to more whys? Okay, maybe we can stop to 3 to 4, but you know already what to do, right? Okay, so now, can we present? Okay, let's do the presentation.
There was a fighting incident.
Fighting incident. What are the components of your problem? Location.
The teachers around.
Okay. Supervision, right? Supervision, and then?
And then the peers around.
Okay, all right. So now, next.
The location will break down too crowded
Mm-hmm.
in the sports hall, and it's too hot.
Too hot, too crowded, okay?
Why is it too crowded? Because it's too small. The hall is too small.
Oh, our hall very small, okay? Okay, we request a bigger hall, okay?
Then another one is too many students.
Too many students, okay?
Why is it too hot? Because it's too many students and there's no ventilation.
Oh, no why no ventilation?
I haven't put them yet. No. What's the aircon? There is aircon.
There is aircon, but they don't want to turn on. Okay. Okay, next.
So budget to pay for
Okay, next, what else?
Then we say the teacher one, we said teacher is distracted.
Ah,
And then another one is not enough support.
all right, okay.
Then the reason why is not enough staff.
Okay,
Or they are distracted because they have another child to focus on.
okay, then?
Then what are the peers one? What is it? Instigate. Instigate. The other peers will instigate, try to instigate the fight. Another one is they will do it to what? To seem tough, to seem cool, among others.
Okay.
Because of our peer pressure.
How come, the aircon is off?
We off.
Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, that's about it.
Oh, okay. All right. Before we reflect on it, I ask the second group first to share. Okay.
Problem statement. Students are not participating in class. So first component A, boring program deliveries.
Okay.
The teacher is not delivering. The teacher is not doing a good delivery. A1, maybe because the teacher is not experienced. A2, maybe the teacher is not prepared.
Okay. Okay. Next.
Next, B, students are distracted. So B1, we put them, maybe they are chatting with friends. Then why they are chatting with friends, maybe because the teacher is not reprimanding the student.
Okay.
B2, or lack of focus.
Mm.
Why they are lack of focus? Maybe not enough
Mm.
sleep, or they don't have breakfast, they cannot focus in class. C. Materials and tools used by the teacher. So C1, maybe it's not suitable for the lesson, maybe the videos used is not clear, maybe the audience you can't really hear.
Okay, so you managed to actually ask why the second layer or third layer, right? Now, I want you to reflect. The first one you've done is one-dimensional. This one is multi-dimensional. Can you see the difference? What's the difference? It's broader, right? It's broader. Like I mentioned, it develops divergent thinking because you explore a lot of possibilities. And then later on, if you want to extend it also, it can develop reflective thinking and then convergent thinking. If it's a problem that you want to solve, you can arrive at the most suitable solution for your problem because you actually explored a lot of causes. Okay? If I ask you to use it in the classroom, if it will be doable or not? Can be done by the students or not? Independent or with guidance? Yes, okay. So of course, if it's the first time you are introducing the logic tree, the students will need some scaffolding strategies. You have to introduce the tool and at the same time you need to guide them how to do it. Okay? Like I mentioned, it depends on your objective or your intentions. One-dimensional 5 whys is good for early years if your intention is for the students to get to think. But if you want the students to develop different forms of thinking, then you may want to use the logic tree. As I mentioned one more time, it has to be scaffolded, okay? And it has to be taught explicitly. I always reiterate that, you know, explicit teaching means you teach them how to think by using the template or tool. All right? So, that's all about it. So, we're done with the first strategy or thinking tool. The second one is 6 thinking hats. Okay. Everybody's familiar with 6 thinking hats of Edward de Bono. And I've seen you doing it in the classroom and using it in the classroom many times in your lessons, in GP Challenge, EduVenture and all. I've seen a lot of posters. But this time, we are going to move a bit higher on that. Okay. Like I said, it's not only about asking questions, you asking questions, but we help our students to develop their questioning skills independently and also develop their metacognition skills, meaning how they are going to think, you know, structured thinking. Okay, so before I play the video, can we recap the 6 thinking hats? Okay, white hat is for what? Okay, when you are gathering facts. Remember, what I've seen in the classroom is that the teachers are always prompting the students, okay, to to provide responses. Teacher is using the thinking hats. Have you tried whereby the students ask questions, they use 6 thinking hats? The other way around. Always the teacher, right? The teacher uses 6 thinking hats to prompt the students, to challenge the students to think. But this time, we are going to use the 6 thinking hats for the students to frame their questions independently in a group activity setting. Okay? So white hat is to gather information. Red hat, feelings. Okay? Black, devil's advocate. Okay, judgment. Okay, next. Yellow, benefits. Okay? Green hat, creativity or options. And then blue, process. Okay, process. Take note of that. So I'll give you a scenario in the classroom.
Today we're going on a little adventure, not outside but inside your mind. We're learning a superpower tool called the 6 thinking hats. And we'll do it through a story you'll never forget. It was a regular Monday morning in Ms. Rivera's classroom. The students were excited because the school was planning a fun Friday activity and the class had to vote on what to do. The problem? Everyone had different ideas. Some wanted a movie, some wanted games, some wanted to draw or paint.
Okay, in your classroom during a teaching and learning session, right? Let's say I am the teacher and I ask, projector is not working. What do we do today? I think you have experienced that, right? No Wi-Fi. Okay, let's talk about your personal experience. No Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is down. How did you manage the class? What were the reactions of your students? Yes, how did you feel? The first thing is you were so stressed, right? Because you do not know how to deliver your lesson. There was one point I think I was observing classes, then suddenly there's no Wi-Fi. So the teacher really struggled how to teach, okay? So we panic, correct or not? The same thing also our students panic. But how are you going to navigate the experience when you are in that particular situation? Have you experienced doing the same activity like what Miss Rivera did in the classroom? Okay, when there is a, for example, a problem, right, that you encountered in the class, let's say no Wi-Fi, each of the student definitely will say something, pass comments, or, hey, we don't learn, we just play, what else? What will be the reaction? What will be the reaction? No lesson, free time, worksheet, what else? Go to the sports hall, change the activity. Okay, so there's so many ways, right? But then if you notice in that particular video, the teacher, what was the topic? The topic was no projector. Okay, projector is not working. But she managed to actually get the students to think by using 6 thinking hats. Okay, how she used it is she put the hat for each student and everybody focused on that particular thinking process. So you call it parallel thinking. Instead of creating arguments and chaos in the classroom, you can get the opportunity to also get the students' opinion by putting them into parallel thinking. Parallel thinking means, okay, yellow hat, everybody will think about benefits. Green hat, think about options or ideas. Okay, white hat, think about all the facts. So you direct the students to think in different thinking process. All right. So that's how we use thinking hats that's one way of using it in the classroom. Okay. Continue. Okay. What will be the impact to teaching? If you use that, you look at the classroom setting, right? What is the impact to teaching? Okay, it becomes student-led. Impact to learning? More fun, okay. The students will develop deeper understanding and thinking. So you see, you are not the one actually talking and talking and talking, but you challenge the students to think by putting the hats. Okay, to continue. Okay, there's another video. This one actually is, the topic is very relevant to our current situation, you know, in school. And we will use the same topic for the next activity. Watch carefully, yeah? I was so happy when I saw this video last night. I said this one is very suitable for the experience because you can connect with the experience, okay?
In a high school classroom, starting next week, the school day will be extended by 1 hour every single day. What follows is a completely unstructured argument. You have students shouting out raw emotional complaints, while others try to debate bus schedules and homework loads. The two sides are speaking entirely different languages. The core issue here is one-sided thinking. When everyone argues from their immediate, rigid perspective,
Okay, so what's the problem? What's the problem? Extending 1 hour, another 1 hour into the students' what do you call it? Curriculum experience, and at the same time, teacher, right? 1 hour extension. Okay, if you use 6 thinking hats in a group activity, who normally leads? Which hat leads? The blue. Okay, the blue hat actually facilitates, process, and also navigate the discussions. All right? Why blue? Because the blue person is the one who develops the process, the one who actually direct the process of the conversation. Okay? So I prepared actually a template on your table. Okay. So the steps are there. So like I mentioned, in a group, when you do this in the classroom, you put your students in groups. Okay? And at one point, at each step of the discussion or planning, they only wear one hat at a time. But the blue hat is the leader or the facilitator who will lead the discussion itself. All right? So I'll give you time to go through the template. Okay, you see step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Okay, so this is how your discussion will go. And there is a step whereby you will need the different hats so that you can frame different questions. What is the problem? We will use the same problem. Okay, extending another 1 hour of school. Okay, why I chose this? Because you can relate. All right, so she will be able to relate definitely. Okay, so yes, so our current practice, school ends at different timing, right? 1:20 at 2 o'clock, 2:40, 3 o'clock, 3:20. Okay, so one is 2:40. What time? Early years? Early years 1:45. Lower primary is 2:45. And then 3:20. Okay, so actually it's a big impact for the lower primary, right? So you end at 2:45 but now extended to 4:30. So it's more than 1 hour, right? It's only upper primary it's only upper primary extending to 1 hour. Okay? So now our problem, our challenge, increasing the number of hours of teaching and learning, okay? Or number of hours, working hours, all right? So you frame it correctly, whether you want to focus on the student or you want to focus on teacher. Because both are impacted, right? So you decide first, whoever, you choose the blue hat. Who will be the facilitator? Who will facilitate? Who will wear the blue hat?
You want to wear the blue hat? You all have different colors.
Blue hat, okay?
Juliana be the blue hat because she's not. Yeah, SBIS one.
Also okay? Unbiased. Okay, so blue hat. Okay. Teacher Juliana will do the blue hat. Yours? Kavita. Okay, so the blue hat facilitates and then the steps are here. Okay, 1, 2, 5. Okay, I'll give you 10 minutes, okay? 10 minutes. Okay, do you want to have toilet break? You want to have a break first? Okay, toilet break, 5 minutes. Hey, you stop, is it?
Yeah, press the red button. Sorry. Now I can continue later.
Never. Okay, so you know what to do, right? So one person should be the facilitator who will be wearing the blue hat, and then you follow the 6 thinking hats discussion prompts that I prepared for you. Okay, this template you can actually use this in your classroom as well. Okay, especially for the higher level. Okay. So you just follow the steps, and then you may also assign someone who will take down notes. If you don't want the blue hat person to write down notes, you can assign another person to note down all the information during your discussion. Okay, so you have 10 minutes for this session. After this, we will move to the presentation. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, you can do differently. Which one you are focusing, students or
Students.
you want to focus on students only? You? Your group? Teachers. Okay, so students and then teachers. Okay.
Red hat feelings. Students feel tired.
Only one information extended to 1 hour. What is the reason? We know the reason, right? It's because of
You have to, yeah, you have to use all the hats, in step 2. I mean the 5 hats.
any other reason other than STEM. STEM.
Extended program.
Because of the CCA?
Extracurricular or
Yeah. Yeah, because of this reason, that is why it's being extended. So that's the fact, right?
What else?
they remove a period from the teaching and learning. So they remove one period and they added to extend the school hour. But it's the same concept. So usually in our school, society is any activities apart from typical subjects.
You're a teacher, right? You're focusing on the teacher.
Yeah, teachers. Okay, so one period is removed and additional activity period.
But you see, indirectly, the lower primary actually is not just removing one period. It is removing one period.
It's
plus
increasing,
2 hours.
yes, increasing the number of periods.
So what exactly happens in primary and then lower and upper, right? So currently, what is it for lower? It's an hour in the timetable, but now it is 1 hour plus.
Plus the extended.
So they increase the physical effort. So example, like what time is that?
Discipline, MOE.
So what happened? They're tired, they're frustrated, less people taking care of the class.
Parents complain.
Parents complain, yeah.
No, it's 4:30 and on to that,
Okay.
one period being removed. That is why they add the speech and drama. To fill in the time.
For upper primary, they finish at 3:20. The new timing is 4:30. Okay, same, one period is removed.
Not able to focus.
Participate. 2 hours.
Participate.
More back attendance.
Yeah.
What adds to your conclusion?
Healthier.
Stay back 2 days in a week. Do they currently stay back or do they go? So now they stay back.
Not really staying back. We have to leave at 5, is it? I mean,
Yes. Normal working hours is until 4:30, so teachers go back exactly at 4:30. But now, with the additional CCA, there are days that you may have to go back after 4:30 because you need to dismiss the students.
Labor law is 45 hours per week.
Which one, da?
Labor law.
Okay.
So if we stay back 2 days, additional of 30 minutes, actually we already exceeded 45.
Okay.
So is that fact or?
That's facts. That's included in the facts.
Exceeds labor.
Because earlier during the meeting, during one of the HOD meeting, remember he said we can alternate, like there are 3 teachers, maybe one
Yeah,
teacher.
now it's no longer alternating.
Now
Everybody has to.
everybody has to stay. So he's
Everybody
changing
stay what?
Everybody.
He's changing his statement a
Because
bit.
earlier on he mentioned we can rotate.
Like-
So not
Yeah, that's
necessarily
right.
everyone stays.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, because of the number of students, you cannot have one teacher each week. Because if you have more than 20, even 20 itself, you need 2 teachers, right?
But this time he mentioned everyone involved, isn't it?
Every week.
Every week.
Okay.
But remember he said he will fight for us like whatever benefits, but what is the benefit?
So the idea, coming back to the reason of it, the reason is to increase this CCA. Why is this CCA? Why is there a need to increase the CCA hours? to make it into an extra
After school.
activity. Is there a reason why it was removed from?
Okay, one of the reasons why it was introduced was because of the KPM requirement, which means that for the Ministry of Education, we have to run some CCAs, but it did not mention whether it's after school or not. But as part of the development of the holistic component of the child, the holistic development of the child, they need to introduce CCAs. That is part of the MOE requirement, which what he's telling is that we are actually proactively adhering or complying to the requirements which has not been imposed in other schools. Okay, so that's another factual information. It's MOE requirements, but MOE did not say that it's after school. Because we don't have CCA before. We have only ECA.
But the CCA is similar to society, isn't it?
Yes, correct. It is society.
We have.
But it's inside our timetable.
Inside the timetable. Which is not wrong.
Which is not wrong, yeah. So why was that? Okay, just trace back a little bit, one step behind. Is there a reason why? I mean, I'm hearing you say this. It's not explicit, it's not imposed. So why is the need, like right now, to now bring it out of your calendar?
The objective is now change. Last time, society is introduced for additional engagement and also for the students to have fun in school. So basically, society is designed for the students to explore other skills. But now CCA is meant or is designed to develop leadership skills. So that's the difference. That is why they put it outside. And that is the reason why also they assign ambassadors, to lead for the upper primary specifically. So it's the direction, the first one, and then objectives. The first one is just to have fun.
But this
Okay.
one, the student have to pay
No, they don't have pay. CCA not paid.
Yes, they pay
200 per term.
But it's the same as society. They pay society. Society is paid last time. So now, actually, the payment for the society is only called CCA fees. That's it. The one who is actually affected is secondary. Because primary, all this while they are paying society fees. From the very beginning, they are paying. That is why you can claim whenever you need to do some activities in the society, right? But the secondary is free. They don't have budget for society. Last time. They are only taking our own budget. Student-led. But you see, secondary has society last time, right? They also have society. But they don't pay for that, only primary paying. But this time, with the CCA, secondary will pay. For us, there's no impact to us when it comes to fees because we have been paying society from the very beginning. So when it comes to fees, we don't have problem because parents cannot complain, CCA is additional one, and then you have to pay extra because it's already embedded in the fees for a long time. It's just that the secondary doesn't have. So now they are charging CCA for secondary. Okay? What's the time? So we have 1 minute left. Do you require more time? Yes. Oh, okay. I think you are focusing so much in one hat. You have to move. Maybe you can have 2-3 responses for each hat. Then you don't white hat only.
So what are the risk and caution?
Oh, so you're still in step 2, right?
Yeah.
But this actually encourage participation. You've been doing it already. So 2 and 3 together. Okay. You're done? Oh wow, so fast. Oh, within the time. Okay, so I think I will give you another 3 minutes, okay? Okay. So 3 minutes. Just collect information, maybe 2 to 3 for each hat only. They're directional for them because they focus more on one hat only. They did not go through. So okay. So just give them some time to.
Yellow.
How? What is your conclusion? Did you manage to go to number 4 and 5? You have to complete 4 and 5. Summary and then what's next?
What's the impact of this initiative?
Okay, abolish CCA.
How get the leadership skills? How does that play out? But what about for the teachers?
We are thinking of the teachers, not the students.
So from a teacher's perspective, how can they then spending more time to drive the objective? Maybe they'll have
Going down to the students level, understand them.
Or maybe you can find alternative solutions.
So what are the teachers' roles in here? To facilitate. That's how will their facilitation support the leadership growth of the students and of the teachers.
So maybe in a stack
That is the concern actually, the impact.
do you think year 6 will be exempted from CCA starting? No.
I think they can write term 2.
They need to focus on checkpoints.
Checkpoint.
There's not even time
Isn't
for
it?
tutorial. They said must take what?
That's the thing. So if you have CCAs Monday to Thursday, when are you going to have your checkpoint tutorial?
I think I have a feeling the CCA time for year 6 will be tutorials.
They may use it next time.
So they got additional thing.
But parents may raise concerns about it because they are paying, isn't it? They are paying for CCAs.
But I thought primary free.
Huh?
Primary free, right?
No, primary has been paying already. It's part of the fees long time ago. It's a secondary that is free. Ah.
Student bonding, that's it. What else can we do for the teachers?
It's actually related to, it's compulsory because it's compulsory because of the report card.
There's also a report card and attendance.
We have to do report for this. Right?
So go decide, summary and then actions.
Get a chance to grow our own skills.
What's next? Where are you now?
Yellow. Still some maybe left here.
Oh, okay. Wow, it's a very serious discussion. Huh?
So ideas, possibilities. What other solution you can think of?
This is for, this one you can use for upper primary. How can you simplify it for lower primary? This is very helpful, for EduVenture. What you need to do is just to help to organize or prepare some question prompts for them. Like this, right? Maybe what you do is you just ask the students, okay, for each of the hat, you focus on 1 or 2 questions. It's a generic question, but they will put the context to themselves. Can lower primary do or not?
Can, but usually time consuming.
But you have to prompt them, isn't it?
Question prompts, prepare question prompts.
Like I said, you have to scaffold. So when you scaffold, maybe you start step by step. So maybe this day you only focus on the first part.
No, my idea usually would be like, don't start during adventure. It should be from the beginning so they know how to use the thinking hat.
Yes.
So when you come to the adventure also they know already how to apply.
But the students have been using it, so they are familiar with 6 thinking hats. Not yet.
Not all questions.
Yes, they are not.
Like for them, this is easy.
Easy emotion, very easy fact. And then
This is easy.
this 4, actually this 4.
No, not there. This one not there.
Yes, so maybe when you do the discussion, right, group activity, Blue will always be there because you need a leader. So you can assign this and this, not necessarily all the hats. So you can have one template, then you tell them, okay, you start with step 1, but step 2, you will only focus on a few hats. Then you can continue with step number 3, 4, and then 5. Okay, you can simplify it. Not necessarily all the 6 thinking hats, because it depends on your topic. If it's not a problem that you need to solve, you need to only explore ideas, then you can use 2 or 3 hats. But the blue will always be there because that is the one leading or facilitating the group activities. Oh, I just hope I can prepare a lot of templates for every year level. Will be nice, right? Simplified version.
Which is given from, it's not, doesn't sound very but yeah, we'll leave that to that. That's not for our discussion. So let's now move to our conclusion. Okay, I think can we agree about this being our idea as the next step, what we should do next?
I think this can be our action.
Yeah, correct. So this part, right? The phase up.
This year we have quite a lot of funny parents, very weird parents.
Okay, shall we continue? All right, let's have the presentation. I heard a lot of interesting discussions, and I think, but it's more meaningful because I can see that your thinking is very structured. You follow the steps, and you can see that a lot of ideas, okay, ideas that are worth taking note of. Okay, so can we start with group 1? So start with, you follow the steps. Okay, you go through the information that you have actually collected.
Okay, so for the white thinking hat, the information that collected is extended 1 hour because of PCA, time, and student.
What is your problem? Tell me your problem. Extended problem, and then impact to whom? Impact to students. Okay.
And then for the red thinking hat, maybe the student might be tired, exhausted, overwhelmed, or they feel troublesome about the new idea. And then for black thinking hat, would be they could be stuck in traffic when they go back, or parents can complain about it, create some distress in the students also. And they're not able to focus, participate during the school hour. It also can affect their attendance or their health because they no longer in school. Increase of school fees also might affect their social life and all that. So for yellow thinking hat will be the benefit more on the leadership skill, and they also might learn new skills. They might make new friends around the environment, try to be more responsible or active and participative on competitive in certain sports they have chosen. For the green one,
Other options.
our idea would be more like maybe make it more optional rather than compulsory for them, and give more options. Instead of, I think you got 41 CCA, right? Maybe it's not 41 or 22, just repeat the same CCA for 2 days. Like badminton, you have 2 days, that kind of stuff.
So 2 different groups.
Yeah. And then for
Oh, that's a good idea. You have 2 badmintons in a week.
teachers,
So one is for lower primary, one upper primary. Also good, yes.
Maybe it's very packed. A lot of people want the badminton.
Yes, correct. Oh, okay.
Even the teachers also can choose. If I cannot make it on Monday, I know I'm taking leave. I go for the Wednesday one. Then the Wednesday teacher replace me on Monday.
Makes sense.
So
That's a good model also. Next.
and then for the blue, policy CCA. or
So your summary, and what's next? Conclusion.
And maybe we can take differently, like just do it 1 term CCA and then put it into the timetable, and then whatever the event for that term, we take it out, and it'll be more effective.
So it's not a whole year program. It can be 1 term. The following term you have a different program, and then another term. Okay, that's good. Next, before we process your thinking and then the sharing the what do you call it, the outcome or how you feel about using it, we go to the next group first. Okay.
So our target audience was teachers. The facts are the teachers need to stay there between that 4:30 or 5. It also exceeds
Now I'm afraid. my team is very intact. Now I hear this one. I hope I will not get the letter tomorrow.
Then we discussed the opportunities and the benefit. We thought of just two actually, student bonding, increased student bonding with teachers and the own teacher skill development. Then we discussed some ideas and possibilities. So a few things came out. The one is reduced frequency of the CCA meetings, and then also to phase out or to structure the implementation, starting with the secondary first and then phase it down to the primary and then lower primary thereof. So the action or the summary that we've decided, the best idea that we thought of is this: to phase out the implementation, so they can learn from the implementation from the upper primary, secondary onwards to the primary, instead of one time everyone's doing it at the same time.
Okay, so let's refocus. Let us put our focus back to our 6 thinking hats. Okay, now the context. Can you see the difference when you just simply bounce ideas among yourselves and by using, and then compared to using the template or the structured discussion template for using 6 thinking hats for group activities? What's the difference? What do you think is the difference?
Sorry, off topic a bit.
Huh?
But why you all don't use this in your SLT meeting?
I like that. Okay. So do I need to teach them how to use it because they don't know? All right. So yes, actually in every meeting you can use this, even during your department meetings when you are facing with a lot of issues. And I know sometimes your department meeting ends up with venting out frustration and issues. Agree or not? So you are having meeting, you want to achieve something, then when you talk about problems, your direction goes here and there because there is no structure of what you want to achieve. So most of you are leaders, okay, in your own respective departments. It's good that you have this template. So next time that you need to solve a problem, so you know how to structure your thinking process already by using the 6 thinking hats. Okay, it's more productive, it's more meaningful. Your teachers won't end up complaining and complaining and complaining, okay? And then together you can come up with the best solution or the most effective solutions that are required to resolve your department problems, okay? Michelle will definitely need it a lot. I need it, but I need to teach my SLT on it, okay? GP, very much applicable for you because you are developing skills and you have new teachers coming in, and our students as well. So from here, I hope that, you know, you can be able to use it in your respective teams so that your teachers will also develop their higher order thinking skills. All right? So let's continue. Okay, first, I want you to share with me your experience while doing the 6 thinking hats group activity. Is it engaging? Were you able to get everybody to share? Okay, I think even teacher Juliana, not in the school, but she was able to learn a lot of it. Right? Does it develop higher order thinking? What are the higher order thinking based on Bloom's taxonomy? Creating, analyzing, evaluating. Are you able to reach that level? Okay, next. Does it develop effective questioning skills? Among yourselves, because you have your thinking hats, you have some prompts. Even though you are not familiar with 6 thinking hats, since the question samples are there, so you are guided, you know how to ask the right question. Okay, what were the challenges? I'm not asking about the challenges in school, don't put it in context, but I'm asking you what would be the challenge if you use this in the classroom? Yes, it will take time for the early. I can't recommend to use fully for early years, okay? But for the lower primary, you can simplify it. For upper primary, definitely for secondary, this is very beneficial. But sad to say, there's no secondary. Ms. Puying is teaching secondary, right?
No, not next year.
Not next year. So next year, what is your teaching load?
It's different.
You're not teaching secondary. Okay. I think you will be teaching.
Huh?
Okay, so anyway, so yeah, this is beneficial for secondary especially, you know, because the students are expected to do things independently. So if they know this, definitely they can learn a lot of things. Okay, next, other challenges. Like you said, right? It can be used for SLT meeting. You can use it for department meeting. You can use it in the classroom. I think whichever profession you are in, you can use 6 thinking hats. No, whatever it be, because it requires a lot of thinking skills and also eliciting point of views of people. What's next? What's next for you? What is your plan? Yes.
I just want to share that I think the other thing that popped up in the challenges element is if you have someone who's extremely invested in the problem that we're solving and they are constantly downpouring everything about the situation, the facilitation might derail because you have someone or a few groups who are derailing or going through that emotion, so that emotion might be a lot to hold on to.
Yes, that's right.
Especially if it's a topic or a problem that is very close to heart, for example. So I imagine that would be a challenge in terms of facilitating and bringing them back to I hear you, but let's come back to it.
Exactly. I think that's basically the reason why they assigned you as the leader, because you can always redirect them. It happens many times. Can you imagine you already have a structure, what you need to follow? But along the way, when you are sharing something, you turn to become emotional. So you derail the discussion. So the role of the blue hat or the facilitator is to redirect, return back to your objective, to the focus. You know, what is really the problem? You have to get back into it. So the blue hat person or the facilitator's role is very important. Okay, but you see, as a teacher, when you are doing group activities like that, what is the role of the teacher there? The role of the teacher is to observe, to assess. That actually brings all the responsibilities to the students to learn independently. And your role as a teacher is to observe, okay, how many of these students can actually frame effective questions? Is she a good leader? What is an effective leadership, right? Or is she able to direct the team into the right conversation? These are all the problems. And then even in our class, right? Remember EduVenture, we had a lot of problems when it comes to group activities. One is not given the responsibility, the other one is refusing to do things. Do you think if you use these 6 thinking hats, all of them will contribute? They will definitely contribute because you have given the students the option which hat they have to do, especially in step 2, right? So I don't think that you will have a lot of problems if this structure or thinking tool will be used for EduVenture in the future, hopefully, yeah? Okay, next, okay, so we go to the wrap-up session, right? This is the last part. So the next activity is actually a true or false question. Okay, what I need you to do, if it's true, you stand on my right, so you need to stand up on true is right, false is left. No right or wrong answer. Okay. True is okay, my right hand side, which is your left. Okay, true and false. Okay. So everybody stand in the middle first. Okay, first question. Okay. Effective questioning should target a student's zone of proximal development rather than tasks they can already accomplish independently. True or false? Effective questioning should target a student's zone of proximal development rather than tasks they can already accomplish independently. Why true? So what is the role of the teacher there? It's scaffold. Okay. Why do you need to do that? You know that the students know how to ask questions, but why do you need to guide them? Yes, okay, to help them to ask higher order thinking questions. Okay, next, true or false? The 5 whys method and logic tree strategy are designed solely to disciplinary issues or classroom management problems. True or false? Okay. All right, you, both of you? All right, okay. Can you please give me an example of other activities or lessons where you can use the 5 whys method? Earlier, we've spoken about classroom management and also some essential agreement. Okay, when you're developing essential agreement, think about the lessons that you're conducting. Any lessons where you can use 5 whys method? Multi-dimensional, multi-dimensional. Local issues. Example of local issues?
Solving
Traffic jam. Okay. What else?
Show them an image and they can ask questions using the why.
Okay. What else? Any other topic or lesson? Science-based questions. But what? Okay, next. True or false? Utilizing Edward de Bono's 6 thinking hats in student-led group activity shifts questioning from a single dominant perspective to multifaceted analysis. Okay. Does it only develop one perspective or multifaceted? Okay, why? Why it's true?
Because all the colors are representing different parts of.
Okay. All right, next. Let's talk about the next one. The primary or ultimate goal of effective classroom questioning is to elicit correct student answers. True or false? Do we ask questions to get answers or why? To get them to think. Okay, I hope you will keep that in mind. Next. Waiting only 1 to 2 seconds after asking a question before calling on a student or providing the answer encourages faster cognitive processing and higher classroom engagement. True or false? Okay, why? Tell me.
It's too short. They need time to think. They need time to analyze.
Okay, so but there are some classroom practices when the student asks question. What are the parts of the plant? Yes or no? We've done that, right? Okay. What are example of solid materials? Yes or no? So are you actually helping the students to think or you are only eliciting answers?
Usually what I do is that before the question I will target the student. Okay, my question is coming, but it's for you, you think. So I will choose the student.
What is the impact of that?
They'll be more ready to listen to what I say first.
But not everyone, right? Sometimes it actually creates stress. A teacher calls me, I don't know what to do. Then got mental block. Correct or not? Yes. So you see, sometimes there are classroom practices that we think are very effective, but it's the other way around. Okay? We need to give some time for the students to think because they are processing the information. So maybe sometimes you want to call the students' attention. That's why you're calling 5 plus 5, 10 plus 2, 2 times 2, right? Especially maths. Correct. I think maths teacher like that, isn't it? So you need to give some time for the students to think because they are not machines. Next. Vygotsky emphasized that effective questions act as linguistic scaffolds. They don't give away the answer, but they restructure the thinking process. Okay, so remember, effective questions actually is a way of developing communication skills as well. Okay, because if the students struggle to ask the right question, then you need to help them by scaffolding it. Okay, and what is the ultimate outcome? Restructure the thinking process. Okay, thank you so much. You can sit down. Now we go to our recap. So there are 2 strategies or thinking tools that you actually learned today, okay, that develop the questioning skills of both teachers and students. What are the 2? The first one is the logic tree with 5 whys method and also the 6 thinking hats. Okay, which one you prefer? Is it the 5 whys method? Which one you like? The logic tree or the 6 thinking hats?
When it comes to solving problems, 5 whys.
5 whys, okay? 5 whys, all right?
Why 5 or?
Yeah, why the logic tree?
Let's say in earliest, of course we have like students
So what the one-dimensional you're saying,
Yes, the
okay?
one-dimensional.
Yeah, because the logic 3, I think they are not able to do it yet. Okay. Anyone else? Which one do you prefer based on your role? Why 6 thinking hats?
I think I like to hear from different perspectives.
Okay. Like I said, you've been using it in the classroom, but you can use it in a different way now for the group activities. Not by providing them with prompts, but by providing them the discussion tools or prompts. The one that you have is actually the discussion prompts. Okay. All right. Okay, next. Okay, these are example of lessons that you conduct in the classroom, and I would like to hear from you what tools, okay, for questioning you are going to use. The lesson is how microorganisms cause food spoilage. Which one you think is more suitable? Logic 3 or 6 thinking hats? How microorganisms cause food spoilage? Logic 3. Logic 3. Okay, the next one. Managing school canteen bullying or peer conflicts. 6 thinking hats. But logic 3 is also possible, right? You can use also. Next. Effects of deforestation on the rainforest wildlife. 6 thinking hats. Effects of deforestation. Okay. Okay, that's all. So let's look at recap our objectives. Understand the 5 whys method for deeper questioning. Are we able to achieve our target? Yes. You understand what 5 whys? Next, are we able to use the 6 thinking hats to explore different perspectives? Yes. Okay. Are we able to apply both tools to generate effective higher order questioning? Yes. Okay. Okay, let's look at this is the overall success criteria that we've started from the very beginning. Okay, the first one, are we able to understand the importance of effective questioning in teaching and learning? You asking questions, students asking questions. Important or not? Okay. Next, are we able to explore a variety of questioning techniques and thinking tools to support deeper learning? Thank you so much for that. Next, are we able to apply questioning strategies to enhance student engagement and promote higher order thinking skills based on your experience today? With that, thank you so much. I am so glad that we achieve our outcome objective for today. I want to leave this session with a very powerful quote saying that the quality of our thinking is given in the quality of our questions. Okay? So if you want your students to develop deeper thinking, parallel thinking, divergent thinking, convergent thinking, creative thinking, reflective thinking, then you have to also think about the quality of the questions that you ask the students. Okay? Thank you so much. That's the end of our session.